Hey there everyone, Toby here. Today we're going to be talking about what mode goes with what chord. How do we use them? What's going on? Let's figure that stuff out now. Okay, so some of this might go, but don't worry, you can rewind. And there's plenty of videos I think that would be covering this as well anyway. And sometimes it just takes a different teacher to get it to get into your head. So what we've got to do is be able to identify chords and identify the mode that goes with it. And to do that, it's helpful to understand what each mode is. And I'm going to be talking specifically major modes in this. So what we want to do is, for instance, I'll be in the key of C. We need to figure out what's going on with that for a start. So if I'm playing, let's turn the volume up. Oop. So we've got C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, blah, 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 on and on. And what we do is we find out the intervals. To find out what chords are, we use the 1, the 3, the 5, and that gives us our triad. So if I play 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it gives me C, E, G, which is a C major triad. Then if I move along to the D, that's my new 1. So I go 1, 3, 5 from D, and I get D, F, A. This is a minor interval, minor third. So we've got a D minor. Same thing again, we move up to E, and we get E, G, and B. So this is another minor interval. So far in the key of C major, we've got C major, D minor, E minor. We continue this thing up the neck. We get F major, we get G major, A minor, B diminished, that's the special one, and back to C major. So that's what we're talking about, 1, 3, 5, that's the triad. So that's all well and good to understand the chords within the key, but it goes a little deeper when we're talking about more notes in the chord. Because we need to identify chords with modes, we need to know more specifics. If something just says minor, then we can play any minor we want, really. So what we want to do is we want to go 1, 3, 5, 7, 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13. That's the highest we can go to with our chords. So C, E, G is a major triad. When we go up to the 7th, it adds in the B. Then we go up to the 9, it adds in the D. We go up to the 11, it adds in the F. Then we go up to, we're up to the 13, and that gives us our A. So now, instead of just seeing a C major chord, maybe we'll see C major 9, or C major 11, or C major 13. And this tells us that the C major scale is perfect for it, because we only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and it's back to 8 again. So, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And so all of those notes worked out. The next step is to go up to the next chord and do the same thing. So we've got D minor, and then we need to find out these extra special intervals. So if I'm going through, this is where it might get confusing even more so, C major scale over D minor, and I'm going to use D minor as my 1, but now I need to find out what's the 9, what's the 11, is it something special? So this is where I get 1, major 2, minor 3, 4, 5, 6, minor 7, back to the 8. So that had a, to get the, what minor is this for, we had a normal 9, so D minor 9, that works. D minor 7, D minor 9, and then we had the 6th here, or the 13, same thing. So D minor 13. There's Dorian right there, that 13th. That's kind of like the, hello, play Dorian on me. So any minor 13, it's kind of screaming for Dorian. Moving on, E minor 7, it's still an E minor 7 chord, but when we go up into the higher degrees, we get a little bit more interesting stuff. So in this, once again, C major over the top of an E minor, E is my new 1. I get this flat 9 interval. Super Phrygian right there, that's saying Phrygian, Phrygian, Phrygian. So if we have a minor, and I find minor with a flat 9, if I play this, it's an interesting sound, and the voicings of it do make a big difference. You can, so now minor, it says minor with a flat 9. Did I say normal 9 before? And minor with a flat 9. That's a special kind of Phrygian sound. You can also, I guess, suspended 9s would work nicely as well. Anyway, so we're moving up to the next chord. And this is F major again. So we have C minor, C major, I'm getting confused myself. C major notes over the F major, or F, and it gives us the sharp 4. 1, 2, major 3, sharp 4, 5, 6, major 7, and 8. So this is the sharp 4, which gives this mode, or whatever, scale, its special flavor. So if you see now, if you saw any major chord, and it was like, let's say, G major 7, okay, you play Ionian on top of it. But if it says G major 7, sharp 11, that's going to be a Lydian major sound. Moving on. So yeah, we've got, where are we now? We're on G, and this is another major, but when we go up the notes, we've got 1, 2, major 3, 4, 5, 6, minor 7, and 8. So this gives us a dominant 7. So this would be Mixolydian. If we have any dominant 7th chord that comes up, we can play this on it. But if we keep exploring further and further, we get G9, G11, G13. So we end up with these cool, interesting kind of sounding chords. Just, you know, G7, instead of G7 you can play G9, G11, G13, whatever, and it's that same scale. Brain frying stuff. Next one, A minor. Is this still going? Hope so. A minor is the next one in the key. So what we do, same thing, C major notes over A minor. A is the new 1, and we get, oh, hang on, no we don't. 1, 2, minor 3, 4, 5, minor 6, minor 7, 8. So here, I'm going to play it down there. Instead of a normal minor 7, we've got a flat 13, flat 6. So that flat 13 gives us our Aeolian vibe. So if you see a minor with nothing else, now you can either play Dorian, A Dorian, A Phrygian, or A Aeolian. If it's just a minor, you can play whichever one of those you want. If it's in a chord progression, that might change the situation a little bit, or a lot. But the idea is now you've got 3 minors. If you see it, though, it says A minor flat 13, then you've got to be like, oh, okay, well, that's specifically more towards Aeolian. Because, yeah, if you're playing over this with a major 6, oh, that's what's going down. So you want to try and fit the chords and scales together appropriately. Last one, we're up to the end. So we've got this is the half diminished, or the diminished as a triad. We're on B. The minor triad is a minor third followed by another minor third, which is diminished. When we go up to the 7, though, it's a minor 7, so it's not a full diminished. It's a half diminished. Anyway, the intervals in this one: 1, minor 2, minor 3, 4, minor 5, minor 6, minor 7, back to 8. but we have to go up further and further. So if we go up to the 9, we figured out it's a minor 2. So if flat 9, minor 9, same thing. So if we've got, well, it gives it away if it says minor 7, flat 5. That's kind of pushing you in the Locrian direction very, very much already. But if it was to go into the extensions, it's a minor 7, it's a flat 9, then the 11 is normal, and then the 13 is also flat. So, whew, that hurt my brain. I hope you guys are all right. So hopefully that's helped out and makes sense, because it can be a bit brain frying, but I think it's important to understand what's going on, how you get there. Like when I went up the scale, basically the harmonic scale within C, and found out the rule: major, minor, minor, major, major, minor, diminished. That goes with every key. So every time, every time you change key, it's the same thing. It's always whatever your first chord is in the major key, it's going to be a major, and then it's going to be minor and minor, and it will be in the same order for the modes. Always the same order. Hopefully, yeah, let me know if that helped out and made sense. Sometimes I get lost in this stuff myself, and I don't have to really think about it as much as I used to. So yeah, hopefully you're unlocking these modal weirdnesses in your brain and you can charge on. All right, I'm going to have more coffee, and I will see you next time. Have a good day, night, brunch.